Senator Moran.
Chairman, thank you. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service to farmers and ranchers across the country and in Kansas in particular. You and I are about to have a high five moment. Thank you for working with me to pick a date for you to be in Kansas. And I wanted to give you a moment. I want to take several moments, but wanted to give you a moment to highlight a development that began a long time ago as a result of the 9/11 Commission. The Secretary will be in Kansas to cut a ribbon on NBATH, the National Agroscience Facility, designed to protect public health and our food safety, managed by USDA, ARS, and APHIS, and it will contain the BL4 biocontainment laboratory. You were there, Mr. Secretary, in May of 2015, now 8 years ago, a long time coming, but a very important facility and asset for the Department of Agriculture, American farmers and ranchers, and in fact, every American citizen and around the globe. I'd be glad to have you highlight why you think this, if you do, why you think this is a benefit to the American people.
Well, Senator, it absolutely is. It modernizes our process and our ability to investigate and to research some of the major challenges and threats to American agriculture, whether it's African swine fever or foot and mouth disease or some of the other 7 critical diseases that could cripple our livestock industry, which obviously would impact and affect our entire economy and our food security. In addition, this facility will also be where the vaccine bank is housed. And as we develop vaccines to try to deal with some of these threats, obviously being able to stockpile appropriately and safely those vaccines, incredibly important. There are also a great deal of research is going to be done on the countermeasures, the biosecurity initiatives that are part of protecting our livestock industry. So this is a critically important, and the fact it's taken as long as it has is because of the minute nature of the protections and security that is required as we move from Plum Island to Manhattan, Kansas. So I'm looking forward to welcoming and to cutting that ribbon, and I'm sure that you'll have a pair of scissors, and I'm pretty sure Senator Roberts will have a pair of scissors.
Well, I appreciate you being there, and I look forward to seeing you in Kansas on May the 24th. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Mr. Secretary, I was in Mexico City, met with President Obrador maybe a week ago Sunday. Maybe in your answer to my question, you can explain your smile. I raised my concerns about the efforts to ban GMO corn. I was encouraged to hear what I thought was said, which was that the matter could be resolved in the consultation stage rather than reach dispute settlement. That was then followed by the suggestion that the United States and Mexico ought to do an additional study about the safety of GMO. Does the USDA continue to believe that the science on this matter is conclusive, and will it continue to fight to ensure full and fair access to the Mexican market?
Senator, the reason I smiled is because I've had 2 such meetings with President Obrador, and I'm fairly certain that what he told me on those occasions was exactly what he told you. And the reality is that we don't need another study. There are literally hundreds of studies about the safety of this technology, and that's been explained to the President. It's also been explained to the President that 66% of his feed needs for his livestock industry come from biotech corn that's grown and raised in the United States. The challenge is that he is very, as you probably found out, very proud of the white corn that is produced, the maize that's produced in Mexico. And I think he's put himself in a situation, a political situation, that's very hard for him to move out of. At the same time, by virtue of banning the ability to have white corn from Nebraska or other states come into Mexico, he's asking us to acknowledge a non-scientific basis for such a ban, and we can't do that. It is fundamental to our trade strategy and philosophy and our approach to the rest of the world that we want a science-based system, and we believe in the safety and the safety of biotech products. We believe in the science behind it, and that's been explained to the President politely on a number of occasions.
Is there any question about what our trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States
Not in
allows
our
this?
view.
Thank you.
Not in our view.
Mr. Chairman, I would conclude just by telling, I would feel guilty if I didn't say this. Mr. Secretary, you and I have worked in your previous time at USDA on trying to export and increase trade around the world. I would encourage you and the administration that you work in to look for opportunities to reach agreements with other nations, singular and in collectively. Trade is hugely important, and while we face challenges in making sure that we do trade agreements right and they're enforced, farmers in Kansas and across the country depend upon the ability to export what they do around the globe.
Well, the good news is that we've had over $15 billion of additional opportunities in market access created in the last 2 years. So we'll continue to do that.
Thank you.